Well, good Sunday morning to you. Welcome back to Shaving with Fuzzy. I'm Fuzzy with another, hey, I got called in to work shave. Pretty normal, huh? Oh well, just the way it goes sometimes. So anyway, I got woke up a little while earlier this morning that I need to go in and cover from like noon to 6 because of some problems last night and they couldn't get a hold of me or whatever. If you don't call the right number, my phone doesn't ring and I don't have the telekinesis to know you're trying to get a hold of me. So, call the right number. It helps. But anyway, neither here nor there. So we're going to use the brush scuttle today that my sis got me for my birthday. I remembered it's my birthday. So before we start talking about other stuff, we got the Razo Classic today. Just because I felt like using something that said classic on it. I like it. And I love the scent of this. It's just a light scent. I don't know how to describe it. I don't even try to describe scents. We're going to use the reknotted Ever-Ready 650 Pure Badger. And it's got, of course, the Chinese Badger knot in it now that really been a really good knot. It doesn't shed. Was inexpensive. It's got a good feel to it. Plenty of backbone, but yet it's still got still plenty soft. It works on these soaps or creams or whatever. And I've been real happy with it. So we're going to use it today, and we're going to start out by loading some soap up on it, of course, because, we face lather. We use our bowls for oatmeal around here, or soup. Pretty good stuff. Macaroni and cheese. You can use a bowl for macaroni and cheese. It's good stuff, too. All right, we're going to get some soap on it. We're going to drop it down in the old brush scuttle, and it'll get nice and warmed up with the Razo Classic. So the other day, someone posted on TOST, the original Safety 2, it was a list from a magazine, and I don't remember which magazine it is, of the 6 top cologne type, aftershave cologne, whatever it was. I think it was after colognes. But anyway, and they were ranking, barbershop-y stuff, which is really neat. So most of the list was $150 range, up around between $100 and $150, high-end stuff that, whatever. If you like it, knock yourself out. They also had Musco Real on there, which is down around $70, which is a mighty fine product. I've had some given to me. I don't pay that much for stuff, but it was given to me. I used it mighty fine. But the really surprising one on there was this, Pinot Citrus Musk. And this stuff's like $7 a bottle, and it was thrown right up there in the midst of all those $100+ bottles, and there's a reason for that. It is awesome stuff, especially if you want that classic barbershop-y type scent. Of course, barbershop scent's different between people, what they consider barbershop, but to me, that goes right along with the Clubman and the illustrious Coachman, which is the same thing. All this stuff, Pinot products, and it was really neat that on that list of 6, that one of them was the Pinot product. So I thought that was really neat. So, another thing we were talking about here a while back is people starting out shaving. And what's the best razor for someone to start out with? And we were discussing that here a while back. And I used to say, start out with something really mild. Contour, 1912s are a good choice, obviously. But the contours, push buttons, the heavy flat tops, the G-bars, feather, all those, they're kind of mild to me. And I would always recommend those. But as I've progressed, I like to think now that I'm a little bit smarter than I was. And I don't know. I don't know if it's good to start with a particularly mild razor, because a lot of the milder razors, while you can get to just as good a shave with a mild razor as you can an aggressive razor, blade. I think a lot of times if your technique is better, you have better results. So anyway, one thing I was thinking about was, how about a 1914 to recommend for people to start with? It's a pretty razor. It's nice looking. It's got enough weight to it, although weight to me doesn't really affect the shave a whole lot. A lot of people like a little heavier razor. When you get one of the later models, they've got the really good, I don't know if you can see if the camera's going to let you, but this one has the longer blade stops on it, so you don't have to worry about those little nubby blade stops when you're trying to get the top closed. That can be a little tricky. But Ever-Ready, what we call the little lather catcher, although I don't consider it a lather catcher and I won't let it into the clan of catchers over at TOST. What's the clan of catchers, you say? We'll discuss that someday. So anyway, that's my thinking on that. So maybe with newer people, maybe the 14 is a good one to recommend too. I still recommend a lot of 1912s, and I don't shave a lot, as you've noticed, with the newfangled stuff, I call it, the featherweights, the push buttons, the heavy flat tops. I don't shave a lot with those, but there's absolutely nothing wrong with them. I still think a featherweight though is a good way to start too. You can pick them up fairly cheap all over the place. They're not hard to find, and they're usually in really good shape and they shave good. So I still think a featherweight's good, but I don't see any reason in the world not to recommend a 1914. Well, that being said, as I've said a million times before, I don't really like the 1924. Shave's fine, nothing wrong with the shave, but I don't know, I really don't like it. I don't guess I have to have a reason, do I? Hope not. There's a lot of things I don't like. I can't really give a reason for it. Alrighty. 1914s also have a nice sound to them. Woo. Yes, indeed. So yeah, I'm gonna go in and work a little shift today. So I had to get cleaned up. I wasn't planning on doing this shave till early in the morning, but we'll do something else in the morning. Of course, we won't have a much of a growth now, but you know. Y'all hear that? As I said before, I love the sound of a razor at work. Alright. So we'll go back for our second pass, which because of our brush scuttle, is going to be nice and warm. So it's one of the first times you've watched one of these videos and you're wondering, what is a brush scuttle he's talking about? Well, let me show you what a brush scuttle is. My sister got me one. She saw on one of my videos that I was saying I wanted one, and she got me one for my birthday. This one comes from Dirty Bird Pottery, and it's a double chambered vessel. It's got a bowl that sits in the top, and you put hot water in the bottom, and the hot water heats up the inside of your top vessel, and when your brush is sitting down in there, it keeps the lather on your brush nice and warm, because Fuzzy is a warm water shaving type. I mean, you don't do that cold water stuff unless I have to. I mean, it's a necessity, I can, but I prefer warm water shaving. You know, the only thing wrong with cold water shaving is the water ain't warm. Pretty much the only thing wrong with it. Now you'll notice that the Razo rock here, I haven't talked much about it during the shave, but as usual, it's giving a great lather. Very slick, very nice soaps. I've got several of them, and I haven't found any yet that I don't like. Yet. Alright. And we'll come on our cross grain. And we'll do a whisk grain and a cross grain. And we don't do against the grain in Fuzzy Hood. We just don't. Alright. Now we'll get cleaned off where we can see. And we'll break out the witch hazel for it. Touch-up pass. Pick up, clean up, whatever you want to call it. Fine with me. But I think the witch hazel helps. Again, if you haven't watched my videos, you may not know that I like using witch hazel for my touch-up pass. I think I can feel where the rough areas are that need a little attention. I think it helps it stand up. I think it helps with any little razor burn you might get or anything of that nature. So I think it's a really, really good thing. We'll dry the old face off here. Now I started with better than a day's growth. So as you can see, very nice shave going on here. Very nice indeed. So let's get some old, just generic witch hazel. If you want to use the witch hazel, the pure witch hazel with no alcohol, knock it out. Normally witch hazel's got like, I think 14% alcohol in it, if I remember correctly, the just generic store brand stuff. And that works fine. I've never had any problems. It's not, you know, the best smelling stuff in the world, but it's not going to be on your face but a few minutes. And it's not like that scent's going to linger. You're going to put an aftershave on. We're going to come over and shave the normal areas and check around our goatee. Trim up. That's time to get the clippers out to the goatee again and get it straightened back out. Alright, well there we go. that's going to be the shave for today. We're going to finish up with the Clubman Citrus Musk. Really, stuff's $7 a bottle. Ain't expensive. Really nice. It's not super strong, you know. It's not something that's going to hang around and choke you in the office all day. It'll be there. It's a nice. It'll be in the background, but nice barbershoppy, kind of old-fashioned, what I would call it scent. Again, that's subjective. I understand. I think your mileage may vary. Is generally a crutch for people who, well, you know, that works for you, but your mileage may vary. It may not work for me. And what that translates to is, well, it's not going to work for me because I don't have very good technique, and I don't think I need to learn any better technique. I think I need to blame the equipment. And so generally your mileage may vary. It's just a crutch. But with scents, now what can you say? I might think something smells really good, and you might not. But anyway, I think the citrus musk is a really good classic scent. So there we go. So that's going to do for today. I'm going to finish getting ready for work and charge out of here and go in. It's only going to be for like 6 hours this afternoon. Not a whole lot going on at the plant, so it shouldn't be complicated. We'll see about that because we all know how that goes sometimes. So I'm going to finish up my French market here with chicory. Black, of course. No girly coffee today. But, you know, if you like girly coffee, don't start sending me messages about wah. Okay. That's what you drink. That's what you drink. And we're going to clean this here blade up. I meant to show this the other day. So, you know, they got a spine on the back of these single-edged blades. So you're not going to cut yourself holding it by the spine. And then what I do is I take it and I hold it one side in a towel, and I take it the other side, and I sit there and I wipe across. And the blade's dry, and I put it somewhere where it'll stay dry. And that's all it is to the blade maintenance of when you have to take a blade out and clean, because I like carbon steel better than stainless personally. I don't mind a little extra maintenance. That is literally all the extra maintenance you have to do. You don't have to dip them in alcohol. You don't have to put oil on them. Dry them. Rinse them off, dry them, and they're good to go. Y'all have a great day. We'll see you next time at Shaving with Fuzzy. And remember, happy shaves to you.